Okay, hey folks. So I've been painting my windows this season, and normally I just do an after the work is done video just to get some tips and tricks, but I felt like this one might be a little useful to see kind of in progress. When I found one of the header trim header boards was rotted, I took it off, and when I did, I found that there was some kind of just superficial rot on some of the plywood that covers the header. It doesn't go very deep. It's just on the surface. There was some rot on the header and the king stud here, and just a little bit on the jack stud. But overall, the structure looks pretty good. I don't feel like anything structural is wrong with this window. It's got some superficial rot from what actually ended up being this cap was just cut a little too short. So over the last 20-30 years, just a little bit of water was leaking in here. Right at this corner here, and just slowly over time just leaking out a little bit of just rotting out some of the plywood. Just goes barely knuckle deep right here, and this is all just half-inch plywood and just barely started to eat away at some of this structure, but it's all good. It's all solid for the most part. So like I said, I don't need to come in here and rip out any of the structure and replace it or do anything. All the surrounding plywood, you can tell it's in good shape just by pressing on the surrounding siding. You can see where it's squishy and where it's not, and there's just right here is just a tiny bit of squish, and for the most part it's all in shape. So I just want to show you what I'm doing just to fix this. I tried like hell to get somebody to come out here and do this for me, and I just couldn't get anyone to come out here and take care of this for me, and it really needed to just kind of be fixed, even if it's just a poor man's fix, to keep this from getting any worse. So what I did, the first thing I did was I went out to the home store, and I just bought some of this window cap, pretty much the same thing that is on there, and I just cut a little piece to slide under here, and just to cover that little gap at the end here. And you can see there's already a piece. There's the piece right here that's sticking out that I already cut and put into place. It's just it's not very long. It's maybe where my finger is right here over. I just added a little bit, and I had to cut it down just a little bit to avoid some of the nails that were tacking up the main piece. So after I put that in place, and that's only a couple bucks a piece. It's easy to get. It's easy to slide under there. What I did is I've been doing all my windows, the exterior, this year, so I've been fixing some rot and dealing with that kind of stuff. And what I did was I used just this Bondo wood restorer, which I've been using on the trim and headers anyways, just to harden up anything that was still in here that had a little bit of flakiness to it, even though it really wasn't in that bad shape. But I wanted to just harden it up and not leave it in any kind of moist state or anything like that. It was all dried out, but I actually was, I hardened up the plywood too. I looked all over the place to see, what people recommend for plywood. Obviously, the best case is to replace this stuff, but I didn't feel like ripping off all the siding just for this one little area that didn't really go much farther than this. So I just dabbed a little wood hardener on that too, and everything seems to have hardened up nicely. So I'm pretty much going to treat this like just a superficial job that you would treat on the casing, or I'm sorry, on the trim. And I'm just going to fill this little void here with just a little bit of the same Bondo system, just some of this Bondo wood filler I'm going to stick in there and just smooth it out, just so that when I put the header board back, it's just got something to go up against and kind of flush out the whole system. But I think I'll post the rest once I'm done, but I think this is gonna just be good enough. I think this is fixing this window capping here is going to keep the water out, and at some point I considered spraying some foam into this area here, some of the great stuff, but it's just such a small area. I think I'm going to be able to fill it with some of that Bondo wood filler anyways, and just seal it up that way. Water shouldn't be getting in here anyways. It should be kept out by the cap and the trim, all that stuff. So hopefully this is going to work out. Stay tuned.